Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Mahogany Circle of Hope show. My name is Ameedah Hasan, and I am one of the co hosts of our podcast. My other co host is Gloria Bryant. Gloria?
We have a lot of good information for you today. So thanks for joining in.
And also this morning we have Angela Cornice. You want to say good morning?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, good morning, everybody.
Thank you, Angela. Mahogany Circle of Hope, we are a cancer support group here in Tacoma, Washington. Our podcast, our mission is to uplift, inform, empower cancer survivors as they navigate life beyond diagnosis. We try to create a safe and inspiring space where stories of resilience meet expert guidance on healing physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Through heartfelt conversations, practical wellness strategies, and a community first approach. We aim to support survivors in reclaiming their vitality, rediscovering joy, thriving in their new chapter of their life. We are also dedicated to information, resources to promote healthy communities, and different topics, different guests on our show. So this morning we are happy to welcome Angela from Honey Cloud. We are excited about what you have to share with us. Um, Me and co-host Gloria are both breast cancer survivors. I believe Gloria is 17 years and I'm 16 years. So I can imagine things have evolved
Mhm.
post surgery, breast surgery. So we are excited to hear what you have to bring with us today. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Uh, Gloria, you want to go ahead and get started with our interview of
Yes.
Angela?
So good morning again, Angela. And I was just wondering if you could tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah,
A
happy
little
to.
bit. Uh-huh.
Yeah, happy to. Yeah, so I actually started off as a swimwear designer. So when I went to college and was starting out in the world, one of the first jobs that I got, I moved to LA and I it was the first job that I got. I kind of fell into it. I was looking for a job, fresh out of school and, out there with all these big dreams. And I, Speedo was the first company that I worked for. So I kind of fell into swimwear. It just became starting with Speedo and then multiple companies afterwards. It ended up becoming kind of my first calling of sorts. I just immersed myself in swimwear design, and while I was working there, I I covered both like women's swimwear. So I was learning about construction and shaping. It really helped me understand like form and construction in different ways that I hadn't before. And then when I also branched off into their technical side of swimwear, which like performance, things like that, which helped me with my, technical skills. So starting off with swimwear and just kind of it's really started helping me kind of starting to see the early needs of women. Being in swimwear is vulnerable for a lot of us, or it's a little bit, you're out there, you got less clothes on, and and we all have our different, all of us, we all have different needs, and in swimwear and for our bodies. So I think that was kind of like an early introduction to me to really understanding like vulnerability, and product testing. I really immersed myself in working with the women. That was important to me, and I kind of just did it on my own as like an employee at the time. I didn't, as I grew up, I realized like further down my career how important that was. And I've taken that at basically every job that I had. So from the different swimwear companies to when I decided to pivot off, and I'll get into that briefly too, but just that working like actually talking and working to the women really closely, that you're building for, I think is so important, and it's missing a lot of times at companies. And so without even me realizing it when I was just a youngin', then I kind of had that in me already to almost, just look at product development like deeper, in that sense. And from swimwear design, while I was working in swimwear, I saw the issue with bra inserts, just regular bra inserts, just being a nuisance to us all, and really an afterthought in design. And from there, it just really got me thinking, and I really like, making better products and improving things. And when I see it, and so I just, started exploring that deeper. And then at age 40, which, that's what I love about life, is it's really is about, you really can, there's no limit to what we can do at different ages. I just around age 40, I just decided that I was ready to start my own company. I felt like I had all the tools I needed, and I felt ready, deeply, deeply ready. And I decided to branch off from working a corporate job, and I left it, and decided to build what became Honey Cloudz. And so I started it from a place of improving products for women in the sense of, foundational stuff. So in this case, it was like bra inserts, starting with that. Then it branched off into the, more of the, what really changed things for me was, while I was building products for swimwear, and just at the time when I first released it, I hadn't really thought deeply about, post surgeries and how our bodies change. But it came with a force, because I would be at trade shows, kind of everywhere I turned. It just started speaking to me. I from women, verbally, I would answer a lot of the customer service calls, and I do pop in there still today, because I love to connect with the women individually, and that's how you really truly hear, like, what's out there, what's working, what doesn't work. I collected all that information, and I'm somebody who does something with when I hear things, I've always been that way. I don't just sit on my hands or just pretend I didn't hear something. Or if I feel like, like in this case, especially women, if I feel like there's, a need, that there's truly something that hasn't been fulfilled, like that is, what I noticed personally was that I felt like women were not being seen, or heard. And in many ways, and it was very, like I couldn't ignore that. Like I wouldn't, like I heard it, and I just knew that there was I just felt like there wasn't enough products in a way, and then products that worked for women's lives now, or addressed issues that had been going on for a long time. So in this case, it was, women, I had professional, I had like the certified, bra fitters started coming up to me first. And then breast health nurses started reaching out, and then of course the women themselves, and it kind of all came at once. And it just was the idea of, after surgeries, that, comfort wasn't considered enough. And that
Good
really
point.
yeah,
Yeah.
that bothered me. I question things a lot, so I am a troublemaker in a lot of ways. And so I've always been that way. And I just said, but why? Why can't it be more comfortable? As I like really was getting, more deep into that, into meeting more and more women, I'm hearing all these stories, and I just thought, here are women that have gone through something very difficult, in a lot of ways. And, you have, women will talk about their loss of identity, and, they just, it's a awkward, vulnerable time. And then, the only options that you're really hearing about, is generally like the traditional type of heavy, in this case, the heavier breast forms.
Yeah.
And And although, of
Hmm.
course, respectfully, they definitely, of course, they work well for some, and they, they enjoy it, they like them, they're okay with them and stuff. There was a lot of women that were, this is what I saw. Like they would tell me that they would, as soon as they got in their car, they would scooch down and, and take the prosthetics off, and they were just like, oh, like, just like it
Yep.
was a burden. Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
this. I know I've
Yep.
heard a lot of stories. They
Yep.
would say, I'm in the church parking lot. I'm taking, they just said, oh, it's, they're,
Yep. Yep.
and then just, the comfort level of, not only the weight, but the heat,
Right.
and then, and just also hot flashes combined. Then you got the
Yep.
breast form.
Yep.
It was just a whole lot going on. And so I'm a challenger. And so I just thought, I had that classic entrepreneur thing, I know, but I just thought like, this can
It
be
has to
better.
be another way.
Yeah, there's
Yep.
no way that this is it. And so I think, honestly, ladies, sometimes it just comes down to someone listening enough, taking the time, finding a path, finding a way. You have to get past all the roadblocks. Of course, I was told a lot, like, oh, don't get into that. There's huge companies that already have the whole market. Like, don't do it. But I couldn't ignore it. Like, I truly saw, like, just listening to, talking to the women. I remember, like, a lot. I will surprise them sometimes too, because I remember the stories, and I'll say, oh, Dorothy, I remember you, like, da da da, and they're like, wow, but it's true. It stays with me. And so when I'm working on stuff, I truly think of the women and the struggles, and then just briefly, I'll end on that. I continue to do so. So even though we have a couple products that are doing well, and meeting those needs of comfort, I still listen, and women will still come out to us, saying, oh, there's really not a product for us because of, and they'll share specific reasons.
Right. Right.
I take the notes, I go back to the drawing board, and and we're working on some new stuff as well. But
That's
yeah,
great. That's
yeah, it's
great.
listening.
Your
Yeah,
commitment. Yep.
Is
yeah.
that kind of
Okay.
your
Go ahead,
Honey
Gloria.
Cloud mission is to be able to be an advocate out there for the women?
Yeah, deeply. Yeah, deeply, Gloria. Yes, yeah. I definitely feel like, just like, a responsibility, it's deeply, deeply fulfilling to be able to help women feel more, feel like, this is what I'll say sometimes, is that if Honey Clouds can be a little ray of sunshine, a little ray of light, helping women in that journey, like, to me, that's the highest level of, satisfaction of, like, helping others,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
knowing that our products, when I would hear stories from women, it's very meaningful. Yeah.
You know, when I
Absolutely.
talked to you when I first met you,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I was talking to you about the products, it was just I was just so, first of all, I was amazed that you called me back. It was
Yeah.
just like, really? Because
Yeah.
I didn't think nobody would ever call me back on my issues that I had going on. And then secondly, when I was able to talk to you, and then you tell me about your products and how, you could help me to get the right size and fit and everything. I was just so happy. Though I haven't stopped wearing them since I bought them,
Oh,
because I bought several different sizes just to see
mhm.
what my fit was.
Yeah.
So I was so glad to hear of Honey Cloud. I couldn't wait to tell my friend
Oh,
Ameedah about it, because I mean, they're just so light. It's just like you don't even have anything on. The other one was so heavy on my side. I was starting to have shoulder problems because they were so heavy. So
yeah.
yeah, I
And
didn't
and
mean to get off
and
on that,
Angela
but I
described she described me when she said, when you get in the car, you just take the bra off.
Mhm.
And that's
yeah,
kind of like the
Oh,
way I was feeling, because it was too heavy and too
yeah.
uncomfortable. And so,
Yeah, and that honestly, like, I think that affects your quality of life, because if we
yes.
women, like, we do a lot, we go through a lot, but I'd say that, the classic story of, like, I'll talk to a woman, every month, where she would say, I wish I knew about you a month ago because I went to my son's wedding and she's like half the night, here she is at this really special event, or it could be anything, our friends, like did all
Yeah.
these events. And if we're thinking about, like, first of all, this, like the breast form sliding from, slip,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
so
Yep.
you're basically, you're there and you're smiling, but you're uncomfortable and you just can't wait to get home or get out of there, to take it off. To me, that's like, it can be better. Like it can
Yes.
be
Yeah.
better.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
do think it affects us. And I think
It
that
does.
yeah. And it
It
helps you
does.
just enjoy life more, in a way, and
Absolutely.
be more
And
present. Yeah.
absolutely. And we can appreciate that. We'll go ahead and get into the product. We
Yep.
had some questions that we wanted to share. The audience might not be familiar with some of the terms and stuff, but could you define in your own words what is post-surgical symmetry? When I saw that, I said, okay, if she maybe she can talk on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Symmetry.
Yeah, yeah. And so when Honey Clouds talks about that, what we have learned, and from working with lots of women and breast health nurses, etc., is that women in different stages of our life, and we've had, we all come, through different journeys and different procedures. A lot of times what happens is when we, either have, we can have a mastectomy or a lumpectomy, or we have reconstruction,
Hmm.
and then afterwards, these different types of procedures, whether it be a lot of times, having a single, then there's, the matching with, the to our natural side. It could also be you do have like a double, you have reconstruction, but they don't match either. Or there's so many things. There's, having implants. A lot of times after reconstruction, they have roundness on the sides, but the top is flat. So there's a
Mm.
lot of women that struggle with that. So and they feel almost, a lot of them will say, I feel almost guilty, but you're bad because here I should be happy, and I'm trying to adjust. But they said, but then I have this issue, or now I don't have, like, the right profile, like not trying to be too picky. They almost apologize to us. And we're like, no, let's figure this out. And so, to, yes, lumpectomy, smoothing, shaping, and then single mastectomy, of course, like, that's, it's a trickier one because you're trying to match a natural,
Right.
breast,
Right.
and it is hard. And so I do think that we're really big on voicing out there that, asymmetry is so normal. Like, when I first came out, I didn't realize it was so taboo, and I'm so used to this, and I'm talking all the time about it. But there is still some sort of, I don't, that exact level, but we would have women, whisper to us, or they'll call us
Hmm.
whispering. Or I've been in public and someone they were whispering to me. And so I realized that, like, it definitely is, women can feel shy about it sometimes. And
Hmm.
so we were big on, like, why don't we just really be out there talking about it and let women know that, it is actually quite normal in all these different situations to have asymmetry. And that we like the phrase, they're sisters, they're not twins, kind of thing.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's true,
Good
and
phrase to use.
yeah, and we want women to know that it's really it's very normal. And if you wanted, something to help with that, Honey Clouds has a bunch of different solutions for it, in different ways. There's all different things that you can do. And so we do get a lot of calls, after they saw some of our videos, and they said that they didn't realize that there were products out there that really addressed that. And so we did
Hmm.
a lot of thank yous of women that said, I was so shocked to see a video on asymmetry, and it's, in
Hmm.
2026. So it is,
Hmm.
we just
Hmm.
think yeah. So we're big on that. We like to share that to women out there and spread that message. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good to know. I didn't know that
Yeah.
Yeah.
you had a
Very-
video on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Very common.
I
Yeah.
have to go on that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a hard one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It is.
women, we still want to, our appearance is everything. We
Oh
still
yeah.
want to look the same,
Yes.
as much as we can, and that
Yeah.
plays a big factor.
You're done.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly, Gloria. And a quick comment is like this earlier this week, on Monday, I spoke to a woman named Dorothy, 84 years old.
Oh,
And yeah, and had a mastectomy, and she still, she's like, I still care. Like I still, I want to look presentable,
Hmm.
and I love that because it just shows you that, it doesn't matter our age. Like it
Yeah,
really
right.
true.
doesn't. And yeah, so
That is so true.
yeah,
Hmm.
so I really, yeah, I love those kind of calls, but it just reminds me, of like, it doesn't matter our age, and that it's kind of a universal, you know, need,
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Um,
Gloria?
is comfort one of your goals for the client?
Yes. Yeah. Great question.
Comfort.
Yeah. Comfort. Yeah. I know it's in our tagline, and yes, comfort is, because we believe that confidence, it starts with comfort.
That's true.
Yeah, when we're comfortable, we all, and like, it's kind of what I mentioned earlier. When we're comfortable, it could be what we're wearing, or you feel like you have a nice outfit on, and
Uh-huh.
and your hair's, looking
Yeah.
nice, our nails, and it does. I do think we do just kind of stand a little, little nicer, and like I think it affects us whether or not how much we realize, but I do think that being comfortable is essential it helps build our confidence. It helps connect us more to others. We don't kind of shy away, or
Right.
yeah, or you're somewhere hiding because you're uncomfortable, like, it matters. So yeah, comfort, is definitely, that's really Honey Clouds is comfort. Like, all the products that we ever will create are definitely based around comfort, and we just think it's absolutely essential. So like, that it's part of our test, is this
Yes.
comfortable? What else can we do to make this more comfortable? Testing on women, getting feedback, retesting, yes. So yeah, I think it's very important.
That's
So,
great.
what was I going to ask? I know a couple of the ones I have, one has the foam in it. Uh,
Hmm.
I guess, I don't know if I'm calling it the right products, but the foam in it. And
Hmm.
then the other one is kind of basically empty, and because I still have one
Ah,
on my breast.
yes,
So
yes,
it's hard. It, it's kind of hard to get your right sizing virtually
it is. Yeah.
on here. So it's
Mhm.
like, how hard is that for you to get a good fit?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you have to do to get that?
Yeah. If I understand your question correctly, like, one is, on one side of it, you're very correct. Like, getting the fit it can be challenging. It is, harder. We By offering, like, Honey Clouds will always offer, a phone help. So it's still, phone, it does help, at times. So we do offer, a little bit of old fashioned, phone help, because there's, having that connection on the phone,
Mhm.
especially, if anyone's challenged, with on the website, we want to just have another option for women to help them find the best size. So we offer traditional chat support and stuff, but we also offer phone support. As far as fit, I think, lending to my background in, swimwear design, and like a technical designer, that
Mhm.
did help me build Honey Clouds, because we are a little bit different than, well, we're different in the sense of, we're bra size based in, bra inserts, like you mentioned. So more of the hollow, for
Mhm.
different, breasts and stuff, and then breast forms. And the reason being, um, we don't do generic, like, oh, if you're a B cup, size small, if you're, C cup, size
Mhm.
medium. And the reason is, and we're very passionate about it, is that, as band size increases, just like for bras,
Mhm.
within a letter, the cup varies greatly. And so, for example, a 34C and a 44C, both C cups are hugely different. If you put them out on
Mhm.
the table, the bra, you would say,
Mhm.
what's that tiny bra? And then what's that bra? Like,
Yeah.
it's very different. And so, part of it's a learning curve, and I know it can be, it's different way for women, and to look at sizing sometimes, because we're also used to, everybody's different, and we are different than the
Uh-huh.
traditional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Right.
We're
Right.
different than the numerical. But for us, it works, and it did help me in development for the sizes. And yes, I worked with women. Of course, is very, very important to me. So it did take me a while, when in building Honey Cloudz, I was just obsessed, a bit probably really
Mhm.
obsessed with sizing and fit, because I wanted not only like quality products, which I think is really important, but the sizing. I just thought, it could be better. And I took all the comments that I got from, from women and other things they've tried, or like looked at everything. And then Honey Cloudz decided to do their own, they're in their own way. But yes, Gloria, you're right. It is hard. And so sometimes we suggest ordering two sizes at the same time to kind of try them on,
Mhm.
like I think you multiple.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And we offer a free exchange with every order, and we do that on like, it's purposeful. Like because we believe that, it can, we want to encourage women
Mhm.
to stick with it. And sometimes,
Yeah.
what gets them frustrated, and they're like, oh, I'm so mad, I just want to return it. Or and we're like, and I try to work with them, like, myself and a few in our small team, and we'll just say, try to get them to try, another size, like, and work with them on it. And that's why we offer kind of more personalized one-on-one
Mhm.
fittings at times, because we think it's important. And there's times that if a woman doesn't have that help, they may just drop off, and then they're just left frustrated, and they're like, well, there's
Mhm.
another company that doesn't work for me, or product. But it
Yeah.
could have been if they just tried a size smaller or size bigger, or maybe there were two sizes off, which can happen.
Hmm.
Or so we always encourage women, like, just hang in there, like, if you could be just a little patient, because once you do get that right, style, could be a thickness issue or the size, it makes all the difference. And then you
Yeah.
might, yeah, your experience. And then once you find a solution, we're not changing the sizes. So just, you can reorder the same size. So, but yes,
How
Gloria, I would say that's
large
the
do
hardest
you
thing. Mhm.
Mary
how
has a
large do your
question.
cups go?
Oh, go
I'm sorry,
ahead.
what's that?
How big, how large are
Yeah,
the
good
cup
question.
size?
Yeah, yeah. So right now we go up to a 3X in the teardrop. And so it's like up to like about I think H cup, no, K. We go up to a K cup, technically, and that depends on the band size, So I think, like, on our size chart, I think we go up to like a, 46, 48 band. And then when, and then there's the cup ratio. So depending on the style, like, we do vary. Some of our styles, yeah, do go up to extra large. They are smaller. We are increasing them based on customer feedback, and that shows you too. Like, we absolutely listen, and sometimes coming out with a new style, for brands, it's normal. Like, you first are testing it, and so we got feedback. And we have added a couple sizes already, both smaller and bigger, in the teardrop, for example. That's our number one style. And then in the oval breast form, we're about to add, in another size as well. We're going another size larger, a 2X. And certainly, like, we definitely connect with women that deep, to where somebody is actually listening. And anytime we get requests, we record them all, and then and it helps us make decisions, and, like, oh, we're definitely going to let's add this here, add that there. And it's because of a Gloria or Ameedah, like, suggesting, like, hey, just so your biggest size doesn't fit me. That's a big one for us too. So
Mhm.
Hmm.
if we are ever, when we feel like we've reached that threshold where, we need to, add another size, we absolutely do. Yeah.
Well, it's good that you are flexible and you listen to the consumer. Mary had a question. How
Mhm.
did you come up with the name Honey Cloud? I'm curious too.
Yeah, yeah. So my husband will love this part of the conversation. I originally, when I started Hunting Clouds, I had actually, for 6 months, I was just so sold on the name Clouds, and I thought, oh, I'm going to call them Clouds there, because the product's going to be light. And then I was doing proper, like, legal, like trademarking everything, like, all, proper. And my attorney said, maybe it's not. We can ask for permission. There's a Cloudz travel pillow company, and so she
Oh,
said,
okay.
it's a different product class, but basically, if you want to use that name, we could ask permission, or she's like, you may be fine, but she's like, but you might want to think of another name. And him and I had just got in the car. We were going to upstate New York to visit my sister, and I'm in the car. I got that call. And then I hung up with her, and then I said, and I said, oh no, I got to change the name. I was, I was so sold on it. And then he just started, he's like, well, let's brainstorm. We're on this car ride for a couple hours. So between the both of us, we just started saying words, and then it was that thing where I just started thinking of what is honey clouds. And I'm like, well, I have, there's honeycomb shaped silicone on the outside, and honey clouds are grippy and they're light. So I started talking about that. And I said, okay, grippy, what's word Jack, my husband's name? I said, okay, grippy and then light. And so he says that, so we were going back and forth so much that he said honey, I said clouds, and we knew right then. And then I said, that's it. I think that's it. And then I messaged the attorney back and I said, okay, we picked honey clouds, but clouds with a Z. And then so she came back to us, a little while, I think when I was in New York, and she said, yeah, I think you can use that. I think that's a better name for you to use. And so then I just had to get, at first, I was like, oh, and then but then it ended up being a blessing, because now I'm so glad it's that name. And it of course it's established now, and we're happy with
and it's
it.
catchy too. It
Right
is
fit.
honey cloud. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very, yeah,
we do get a lot of comments of like, what the heck? What's honey clouds? What is that? And it's a good thing. Yeah. So
yeah,
it sparks
yeah,
intrigue. Yeah. And it
yeah,
really means what the product is. It's grippy and light. So
yeah,
yeah.
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 Oh, okay. All right. Gloria, um, we would want to know about the care of the product. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. The
do you
care.
wipe it off? Can you wash it? Yeah, I'm just throwing that out there. How do you take care of your products, your bras, your inserts?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Do you
That's
have
really
bras
good.
also,
Yeah, so I
Angela?
love that you brought that up, because Honey Clouds doesn't have bras so far, but we are in development right now. So it's been the number one request by far since we launched more of on the post-op side of products. Every single day, there's not a day that doesn't go by that we don't get a voicemail, a text, an email, a social media post, like comments. Do you have bras? Can I buy bras? The need is definitely there. We're currently working on it. It will be coming out. Right now we're looking at spring of next year. You will see bras from Honey Clouds, and yeah, and of course comfort based. So very based on comfort. They're going to hold forms really well for a single or double, or lumpectomy, or explant
mhm,
surgery, all different reasons. And then for our inserts, so the care is really is fairly simple. For the breast forms themselves, we recommend actually like hand washing is best. It's
mhm,
to protect, just to keep the form really nice in the shape.
mhm,
So they just take a quick little wash in the sink, and a sink's probably the easiest thing that most do, with a little bit of soap.
mhm,
And then just rinse them a little. You can do a gentle little squeeze, and it doesn't hurt them, and of course, and then it just gets a little bit of the water out. They dry fast, so they do dry on the counter, on your dresser, or some women will keep them in their swimsuits, and when they wash, they'll kind of get the whatever seawater, chlorine. They'll kind of rinse their suit off in the bathtub, and then they just kind of like little hang it. It takes maybe a little bit longer to dry in a swimsuit naturally, but they can dry in there if you're on traveling or vacation. And our regular bra inserts, Gloria, that you also have, those technically can go in the washing machine. We recommend,
oh, okay.
yeah, so those can, because they don't have like the thick foam. So those can definitely go in there. They are, they do best inside like a wash storage bag, or like another
Mhm,
like a delicates bag. So they definitely will, just like bras, like you don't want to just kind of throw them in there. So they'll definitely last longer, and they keeps them, the shape, everything nice. And women can also wash them inside their clothing for those type of inserts if they wanted to. And then for all of our products, Absolutely no dryer, so no hot dryer. They like the breast forms and the inserts are all air dried outside, and that's because of our process. So they're heat sealed, and that's how they're constructed. And so if you when you know if they go in the dryer, they'll peel apart. So yeah, so
Right, right,
so
right.
yeah, so no dryer, but everything else, hand wash and for the forms is great, and they do keep their care a long time.
Okay, that's good. And
Do you accept insurance? Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Ameedah.
go ahead.
Oh, okay.
That was
No,
be
I
my
was just
comment. Go
wondering, do
ahead.
any type of insurance?
Yeah, it's a really good subject to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So so currently Honey Clouds does not. We actually we're taking the path of we're selling direct to customers direct. We do that for a couple of reasons. One is that not all women have insurance, so is part of it. So it gives women the opportunity to be able to still buy a pretty affordable, breast form at like I said, like a pretty affordable price. It gives them an opportunity as well. It there's also the side of it's a very different system to work with insurance companies.
Mm-hmm.
When a brand does, basically it changes the structure on how we sell. So we would definitely not be able to do what we do currently. So it would basically just change how we're doing things, and it's working really well. And so I would say most feedback we get once women, understand, they're like, oh, your prices are 29 to 49, for each of our breast forms, for example, depending on the style and size. Most women are usually very receptive to it, and they're like, oh, for the most part, it's been, a positive thing. And we've had even breast health nurses or shop bra fitting shops sell our products as well, and they'll say that they have found that it's kind of nice because there are issues sometimes with insurance, and there's restrictions, and
Yeah,
there
yeah.
that was just going on. And then this way, kind of like we're doing we're doing it in our own way, and it's working in that, and we have had a lot of women that don't have insurance in that sense, or and they have thanked us, and they said, please don't change it because this works for us, and so we
Yeah,
kind of hear all different ways. But we when we started off, we weren't 100% sure, but then as we got into it, it's become, right now it just seems to be working really well how we're doing
yeah.
it. And
And
they
they
look at,
are really reasonable. Your
yeah,
prices are really reasonable. Yeah.
yeah, we find that it's very important because I was really big on that. The other like big thing about Honey Clouds was I'm like, we can have quality, like, a high quality product and not have this massive price attached to it. And so we definitely are the the wild card and the type of thing, because we have gotten a lot of feedback that from bra fitters, or from some of the shops we sell at, and of course, but that we're kicking butt, in a way, because we are like, women are like, wow, because we have, not only are they affordable, but then they're like, oh, they're like really nice, or the quality,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
so that was kind of yeah. So that's I think what we're doing is working, and I just think right now the cash and carry type of model is there's a place for it too for women. So we're sticking in there right now. So
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
fine because insurance could be do the opposite. It could be a barrier.
yeah,
So if this is working for you,
yeah.
that's fine. But it would be nice if uh, Gloria, like we have Judy's apparel, if her
Mhm.
product could be in the
Yeah, we were going to ask you, Angela, if
Yeah.
maybe we could have a couple of samples of
Hmm.
your products to put on our tables when we go to different events and things,
Mhm.
and to promote it
100%.
because they're
Yeah.
awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. That I think that the best thing is for women just to know of the options available. Is I think
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yes.
for all
Yep.
products. Like I'm a
Yep.
big believer of that, and just just knowing that, hey, if you did want something light, here are some options,
Hmm.
you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then
Options. That's it.
I
Options.
wish I
yeah,
Yep.
had have known years ago about Honey Cloud,
yeah,
because
Yep.
it has really made a big difference in
Yep. Yep.
me and my comfort and everything.
Yep.
yeah,
So yeah, that was a
And,
blessing.
yeah,
yep. And thank you, Angela. I'm glad you had that creative force to give us another option.
yeah.
So, Gloria, you have any more questions?
I
Oh, Mary.
just go on the website to order
Mhm.
like I did, right?
Yeah, so we actually have a couple ways to order. We're so yeah, of course, directly on our website on honeyclouds.com. We're also the women can also buy us through. We have a store locator on our website, and we are growing every month. We're in new stores, so we're not in every single state yet, but we are in most states in the U.S. And mostly it's bra fitting shops are kind of like the one of the main places that
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
you can find us there and growing there. And then women, we also are, working on other, retailers. We're in a couple different like online only boutiques, but for the in-person experience, definitely like bra fitting shops are mainly where we're at, besides our website, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Do you have
Okay.
any place in Tacoma, Washington?
I don't think we are. When I pretty much know every store that like the ones we're in, but I don't think we are in Tacoma yet.
Like
Um,
Seattle.
yeah, we're definitely working on it. And trying, but yeah, that I can think of. I don't think we are. That at the top of my head, no, I don't recall
But
Tacoma.
you do have your listing on your
Mhm.
website.
We
Okay,
do,
great.
yeah. At the bottom of our website, it's going to be at the top soon, but right now it's at the bottom, and
Okay.
yeah, they can definitely you can find everywhere we're at. Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know. Well,
Mhm.
if you don't have a question, Mary's question, um, she, I asked her what, let me see, what did she say she wanted to know?
Oh, yeah.
What is next for Honey Cloud?
Yes, that's a great question too. So touching on earlier, definitely bras. You will see Honey Cloud's bras coming out.
That's
We
good.
also have, I won't announce it yet, but because it's still under wraps, but we have three new type of um, insert forms for women in its specific, like two of them are specific. One's for the lumpectomy space that's very targeted for that. That's going to
Oh,
be a great
yeah.
option for women, yes. And the other is for women that are concave, that have had a mastectomy where they are more concave and they have
Mm-hmm.
more tissue taken out. I am specifically working on a product for them because I see them, and I've many have reached out to me and told me that they feel not seen and they wish they had more options. And so we are developing something right now. We're in trials and stuff. Yeah, and just showing to our continuation of addressing meeting those needs, for women.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
those are some sneak peeks, yeah, of kind of what's next.
Okay.
Mhm.
Absolutely. You're continually creating and thinking about women in this situation, and it's enlightening to know that there is another way, that you do have an option. So I
Yeah,
think that's wonderful. Well, on that note, we're gonna wrap it up. Angela, is it anything you would like to leave with us? And then after that, could you give us your website information?
um,
Gloria, any other comment?
No, I think that's she's pretty much answered everything. So
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
good,
Angela, it was great having you on here. And once we go off, if you can just give me a few minutes, that would be great. But
100%.
thank you for coming. Thank you for having the
Yeah.
time to come on.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you for
we
having me so
appreciate
much.
you. Absolutely.
Yeah, thank
So
you.
we always ask our guests, give us your contact information. And if you don't want to leave your number, you can leave the number on the website and the website
Mhm.
information. So if you could share that with us,
Sure.
we would appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So so for Honey Clouds, if the best ways to reach us would be on our 800-607-1079. That's our direct line to get personalized customer service help, one-on-one, with, what style to wear, what, work through issues, troubleshoot issues, return or exchange if you need some, human help. So we offer that. And then our Honey Cloudz on our website, honeycloudz.com. We have an online chat Monday through Friday. And then also email support as well. And that's that support@honeycloudz.com.
Okay. Thank you.
What is the chat? Is it just any questions or concerns you would have you to do it through the chat?
Exactly. So like, let's say you're on a website and you have a question that you're not seeing and you just kind of want to ask really quick, or even you're curious about your order that you placed and you just saw the chat button. All it is clicking on the little chat. It's usually at the bottom right of most websites. It's looks like a little chat bubble. And you can ask your question. It's sort of like an instant messenger. So it's a direct, like, quick message. Sometimes it's automated and sometimes it is for, it's a human behind it, answering questions about, for us, like it's half and half. So, but we do have a lot of, we have, actual customer support helping with, especially with styles, questions, sizing, exchanges, that type of stuff. It requires, so it's a little bit more, and personalized and in depth. Yeah.
One more question I'm going to ask you before you get off. Is the difference between the tear shape and the other, the oval? So how do you know which one of those you should order? The tear shape or the...
Yeah, that's a great question, Gloria. Basically, so for some women, it's a fullness decision. The teardrop is it's a fuller form, size for size. I mean, these are two different. This is actually, again, a 2X and a 1X. But the teardrop is a fuller form. It also goes up higher on the chest. So, I mean, this is a little bit smaller size, but so for some women, they really like the fact that it comes up a little higher. Some don't want it because we're all different. Some will say they love the oval because they don't want it to come up so high for them personally. Could be a comfort thing again, or it could be they just don't like the way it looks on them particularly. So that's part of it. Besides that, it's really just it's comfort in personal preference. Like where it touches us, like even inside pocketed clothing, which is important.
Right.
Where it's that whole thing of sensitivities of, from radiation, like all different reasons.
Yes.
And sometimes at the end of the day, that's kind of why a woman will pick one or the other two. It's a comfort thing. They're like, oh, that one's uncomfortable, but this one isn't, or, and then some it's a shape preference just on their body. So they just give a little bit of a different shape. And then it's mainly a comfort thing, and the teardrop's thicker.
So one other thing, this, oh God, I just forgot what I was going to ask you. It's when you had a mastectomy on one side, and you still have your normal breast on the other side.
Yeah,
that's kind of complicated, and because you have nothing on this side that you're working with, and then you need something to comfort that you could still have your other breast in. I don't know if I'm saying it right, because to get them even, you got the one no side, and then
you want to balance,
Angela.
Yes, it is. I would say that is absolutely a harder fit. It's more, it has its own set of challenges. And we find that sometimes it's switching. So there's a couple things you could do. Sometimes it is trying, a couple sizes to see kind of, because our natural breast, it sits differently. There's so many variables. So sometimes it could be trying a different size, and you might find you like where one size kind of, what it looks like with your other breast more than another. Sometimes it requires using a little bit of a push-up insert on the natural side, because which is very common, because naturally all of us, like, with time, like we're, and it's going to be lower. So that's part of it. So it could be adding a little bit of a push-up insert, like a little adjustment here. It could be changing the size of the insert on the other side. And then, I will say though, like truthfully, that with if when a woman has a very large natural breast, we are very, honest, or in the sense that it is honestly a harder fit. So sometimes in that case, we do have some women that are single mastectomy, and they love our teardrop, in like a 3X, for example, and they're like, no, it works for me, I'm happy. They said it's funny because like are the feeling of a natural breast versus like a heavy breast form, it's strangely different. So
It is
like,
different.
It
yeah,
is.
so it could be you're used to your natural one, but then you have this other one. So and I know so a lot of women will come to us asking, if or so we have a mixture of that. I do think honestly it's a harder fit, where we do have some women with a very large breast where they do need like a heavier form. At the end of the day, just gives them a bit more balance in their case, and they kind of need that weight with their bra, and like because the other breast is so heavy. So it can be harder. But we do, but the majority of women, can wear a light, depends, getting a good bra and stuff, but they can wear a form like honey clouds on the mastectomy side. But Gloria, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's trickier because now you're dealing with, a natural breast projection, and then
Nothing.
yes, nothing in that sense, or surgery, different variations in the our it is, so it's harder. But it just sometimes takes a little bit more to kind of figure it out. But I always feel like there's always a way, there's options, and sometimes it is getting like a little bit of a push-up insert to help the other side. Or
You have those, the push-up inserts?
we do, yeah. A push-up called the oval push-up that works well for that end use, and then one of our new products coming out also can help with it will help a little bit, like to help boost a breast in that case. So we'll have actually two options available soon.
That's awesome.
When will
I'm
those be available, Angela?
just glad that you are here to give ladies options. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
welcome. So important.
Yep. All
Yeah.
right. Angela, thank you so much for your time and sharing your product. It's well needed. Um, we'll have to have you come back again,
Yeah, yeah, I'd love
and
to. Hmm.
uh, I don't know how you do this, but maybe we could do where people can call in and ask questions or
Yeah.
whatever,
Oh yeah,
but
I love that stuff.
so that
Absolutely.
could be something of the future. I don't
Mhm.
know how we would do that, but ladies need to know the options that you have to
Yeah,
offer.
yeah.
But Gloria, you have anything else, or Mary? We are gonna go ahead and close it out. And but we appreciate you, Angela, taking your time, sharing your product with us. This is a supportive mission for women who have gone through breast surgery, and to know that this is
There's
available.
options out there
Yeah,
because
there are options out there. So
I was so glad when I
yeah, yeah, and
discovered
so
it. It's
kudos
so
to
much
you
out
for
there on the media, you don't
yeah,
know what you're getting.
yes,
So to get
absolutely,
something you're really happy with, it makes a difference.
absolutely.
It does. Yeah,
Yeah, so
absolutely.
thank you so much for your time. We're going to
Mhm.
close it out.
Okay.
Thank you, Angela Corners from Honey Cloud. And thank you, Gloria, for being here. And we will have to have you come back again and
Yeah.
share your
Sounds good.
product with us. We definitely going to keep in contact with you. And once again, you've been listening to the Mahogany Circle of Hope show. Our podcast can be heard on Spotify, Straight Talk Health and Wellness, YouTube, Tacoma, Radio Tacoma 101.7, and you can see part of the clips on our Facebook, Mahogany's Facebook. So once again, we thank Angela Corners for being with us from Honey Cloud. Have a
Thank
great
you,
day,
Angela.
everyone.